What's going on, everyone? Jared the Star here. Today we're talking about the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef, and now it seems like the court of public opinion and the hip-hop fans, of course, have already picked a winner, which is Kendrick Lamar. Now, Kendrick Lamar has done a very good thing to shift the public. He's talked about morals, integrity, ethics, and he's put out very catchy music that, although some people feel like he's went 0-3 with his beat selection, other people are rocking with him to the fullest and two-stepping like it's the hottest song of the summer. Now, the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef has really opened my eyes to a few things, and how it feels like Kendrick Lamar was already the objective winner from the beginning before any of these rap songs came out. What does this mean for Drake? Is this the end of Drake's 15-year run? And what's going to be the transition for Drake to move on from this? Does he just drop another album? Does he just go on tour? Is it over when Drake stops responding to Kendrick because Kendrick just feels like it's not worth his time? Is it over when Kendrick stops name dropping Drake? What is the deciding factor that this beef is over? Is just the fans that just, wave the red flag? Like, how do we know? Now, there were 3 songs in particular that were deciding factors of who won this beef. The Family Matters, They Not Like Us, and The Heart Part 6. And I'm going to why The Family Matters, of course, first, was a very deciding song that had the highest replay value in this beef. But before I get into it, I ask you to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, Jared the Star. It really helps me a lot growing this algorithm. Thank you very much. Let's get into it. Drake's Family Matters was a perfect response to Euphoria and 616 in LA, and here's why. He addressed everything. The rumors of there being a Mullen OVO, the rumors of Drake allegedly telling or snitching when he got robbed in 2010, the rumors that, Drake got slapped by Puffy, which pretty much is true, and also the fact that Drake put a cease and desist on the Like That record, which was probably done by his label. Kendrick had a verse that said, "Have you ever thought that OVO was working for me?" And to be honest, Drake was seeming very predictable in this beef, and it seemed like Kendrick Lamar was kind of 3 steps ahead, despite that people saying Drake was. And Drake actually baited Kendrick Lamar so hard when he released Meet the Grams 20 minutes after The Family Matters. Yes, I know that Meet the Grams came after Family Matters, so it's hard to judge both said there, but it's proof that Drake fed Kendrick Lamar fake information. When it comes to hip-hop beef, what are we weighing as the criteria of the winner? Is it what's more true or what's more disrespectful and shocking? Because Kendrick Lamar got fed fake information that he doubled down on in Meet the Grams. He said, "Hey Adonis, I'm sorry that boy is your father." And then he went to say, "Dear Drake's daughter, I'm sorry that boy left you," and it was an 11-year-old daughter. Whoever's on Kendrick Lamar's team, and that's just me being unbiased, has to do better research. If Drake had a daughter that people didn't know about, why did Pusha T not find out about this daughter when he first released the story of Adon in 2018 and exposed Adonis? It's just really not making any sense. The Mullen OVO baited Kendrick to put this on wax, and now we can't delete the record because we already heard it. But it seems like people don't really care. Kendrick Lamar made 2 references about Drake and robbing in Toronto, with the first one being that "I'm a New Ho King with the Blammy Crody," talking about Drake and Rob around the corner from New Ho King. Now, many people thought that Kendrick Lamar was just showing love to a city in Toronto or a restaurant, but that's not the case. He's making fun of Drake for getting touched in his own city. The second one was when he said that, "I know some shit that'll make Gunna Wanna look like a saint." We all know that Gunna Wanna took an Albert plea and people just view him as snitching and how he got out of the Young Thug situation. And there was some circulating paperwork that showed that Drake was cooperating, but it wasn't true. It was just a record of the altercation, but it was no statements whatsoever. And this happened in 2010, right? When Drake got robbed, he was in his young 20s. I think he just got signed to Lil Wayne and Cashman and Birdman and, the whole Young Money situation. He wasn't there yet, obviously. He wasn't big. This is like probably Take Care Drake. He wasn't a big superstar yet. But he's smart enough to know that, hey, if I want to be in this industry where people are really, submerged in black culture and street culture, being under Birdman and Wayne, real street figures, I can't snitch. People are going to look at me as a rat and my career is going to tank before it even gets to blow off. Further on in the song, Drake would nail Kendrick Lamar on the head of all the things that he's lying to the media about as he's proclaiming himself as this black king who loves a black woman. And Drake would say, "You're the black Messiah, wife of a mixed queen. Like, you act like you're for the people, you talk this culturalist talk, but you're with a girl who's just as white and just as black as me." Kendrick Lamar's whole thing was, "You're black, don't say the N-word." And I'm not going to lie, as Kendrick Lamar being a conscious rapper, I felt this was a very low point. But the black community was eating it up. We're really talking about colorism being a problem in our community, and Kendrick Lamar is doing it at the highest level. You're dark skin, you're brown skin, you're light skin. So brown skin, the dark skin say nigga, but you're half light skin, so you can only say nigga. That was such a weak and a low point for Kendrick Lamar. I thought that he was better than that. Like, really, like, your biggest point is you can't say the N-word because you're a waffle color brother, like you're not fully black because your mom is white. Like, yes, he did talk about how Drake runs to Atlanta because he needs cultural currency. He's around Lil Baby because he wants to be around the lingo. Thug made him feel like he was a slime. 21 felt like he had street influence, and Quavo made him feel like he was from the north side. 2 Chainz made him feel like he was good in the hood. Kendrick Lamar was very smart with how he went about it because he went about Drake from a lyrical and cultural background. Cultural identity and being black and being racially black is 2 different things, and many people feel like Kendrick Lamar is culturally black, but Drake isn't culturally black. He's mixed, he's biracial, and like he identifies more with the black community, but he isn't culturally black. He doesn't speak on real life issues. He's not marching with the people. He's not outside doing certain things. And it seems like that's been the bone that the culture has had to pick with Drake for years. You know, he's not going to certain platforms. And it's funny because when I look at this Drake beef, it feels like a lot of platforms or a lot of, you know, whether it's the Hot 97s, the Breakfast Club, complexes, you know, Drake doesn't really do interviews with people in the culture, and it really rubs a lot of people the wrong way. You know, I've heard Ebro, I've heard Charlamagne talk about Drake, and they always talk about him with like, yeah, you know, that guy, you know, the Canadian guy, he's cool, you know, he has a bunch of big songs. You can tell they're all kind of salty that Drake has never really came on the platform, and he may have came to Hot 97 once, but the point is, Drake doesn't really do things in the culture. You know, he's on the white platforms. He's not really front and center doing a lot of interviews. People feel like he's kind of too Hollywood. I feel like he used blackness to finally get in the door after he stopped really being front and center with Wayne, you know. And it's funny because when Drake first came up, people wanted Drake to be like Wayne, where it's like, whoa, this guy's just some light-skinned street guy. First, he was acting too much like Wayne. Then they liked Drake when he was a singing guy, being himself on songs like Aston Martin Music and all these other songs from Take Care. You know, people have really had a bone to pick with Drake for years, and now that someone like Kendrick Lamar, a high caliber rapper, is going at him, it seems like the people are just hopping on the boat and having the decision made that Kendrick Lamar is the winner. Drake would even talk about Kendrick Lamar's wife saying, your baby mama's caption screaming, save me, and I heard one of them kids might be Dave Free. Now, Dave Free seems to be this mystery man that everyone is like so engaged of who is Dave Free, right? So Dave Free is a childhood friend of Kendrick Lamar who kind of helped him co-sign and start up his new label PG Lang after he left Interscope and TDE. And it's like the common practice, right? Rappers are signed to a label for 10 plus years. They finally get super buzzing, and now like they fulfilled their 5-album deal after 15 years and they want to leave, right? And Dave Free was someone very close to Kendrick Lamar's woman. And coincidentally, of course, Kendrick Lamar doesn't follow his wife on Instagram, but you know who his wife does follow? Dave Free. So many people feel like, you know, Dave Free is actually the father of Kendrick Lamar's last son, and that's why that Drake verse was so hard hitting. I feel like Drake doesn't get a lot of credit in the song because he is admitting his faults and also is hitting back with truth. Kendrick Lamar is really just throwing, hoping the culture still backs him, which they 100% are, and he keeps going. Because when he first put out Meet the Grams, which was 20 minutes after, you know, Family Matters, the stuff that he was saying just didn't really make any sense, right? It was a really good record, you know, it was like, this guy's making a diss record of someone else's son, right? So that's just all levels of disrespect, and it's getting praised and glazed on the entire internet. But if you look at the lyrics, and the whole song was based off a hypothetical. If Drake doesn't have a daughter, what is the purpose of the entire song Meet the Grams? Drake being a bad father because he didn't want to claim his kid because he had to with the P-Star, we already know that. We've already seen on the internet before. That's been the talk of the town for the past 5 years. Drake is doing right by it. He's with Adonis every time on social media, at the Raptors games, out in public. He's done right by that. If Drake proves that what he said or what Kendrick Lamar said in Meet the Grams is true, does that entire diss record get eliminated from history? Because what is the point of that? The entire shocking factor, the X factor of that song was the fact that Drake had a daughter. So if it's proven that Drake doesn't have a daughter, is that song even relevant? Because the best song that Kendrick Lamar put out after was They Not Like Us. And I'm going to be honest, that two-step Diddy Bob song was fire. I hate to admit it, as a man from the 6 myself, a Drake supporter, a Team OVO member, that song was very good for 2 different reasons. It lyrically went at the same issue that he was addressing in Meet the Grams, so people are viewing that Kendrick Lamar doubling down on it. And 2, the song just had a good dance to it. You put out a song that people can dance to, it's raps. You know, it's May right now, it's summertime, people are thinking like, people look like Kendrick Lamar, like, you really gave us 2 summer anthems. You know, They Not Like Us as well as Euphoria. Like, it is crazy right now. 2 summer anthems. California's going crazy right now. And he's addressing real cultural issues. Like I said before, Drake does identify as being black by the race, but he isn't really culturally black is what the narrative's being saying. Like, you know, raised by his white Jewish mom in Toronto, his dad is from Memphis. So people looking at Drake like, hey, like, you're Jewish, you had a bar mitzvah, you're not fully black. And these are stuff that Drake has already expressed and talked about in his music before in the interviews. You know, people are so quick to let him know, like, hey, you're not fully black, you can't be that cool. And I feel like it's the fact that Drake has really been himself and not really had to really force himself to blend with other people and still reach such high points of success is what really irks the people the wrong way. Like, you see someone like Drake who he isn't your ideal phenotype or, you know, genetic makeup of who you feel a black American rapper who's very successful should be. He's light skinned, you know, he was viewed as the corny guy. He's not really street or too thuggish. He's kind of like the lover boy type of singing guy. He doesn't have a tough guy persona, which is what we, you know, is like unanimous and synonymous in every big rapper who's just, you know, ever made it big, that they're from the streets, of course. And people looking at Drake like, wow, this dude from Degrassi, no label wanted to sign him, This dude painting his nails, he's singing. Like, even when Drake was with the Meek Mill beef, people thought that Drake was cooked. They're like, yo, Meek is a Philly rapper, he's aggressive, Drake's from Toronto, how's he gonna compete? And that's why the ghostwriting allegations, you know, Drake still won that beef, of course, but the ghostwriting allegations got brought up back again with this Kendrick Lamar beef with the 20v1. They Not Like Us won the people over because it had some very controversial and low bars that you can't come back from. He said, hey Drake, I heard you like them young. How are you supposed to respond to that? And he responded to that in The Heart Part 6, which I'll be getting to, but I kind of want to speak on now because we're already talking about it, right? The Heart Part 6 by Kendrick Lamar is easily one of the most hated diss songs in rap history ever for no reason. Drake is doing his finale rebuttal on everything. The snitch allegations, the predator allegations, the fact that he's saying that Drake is a massive manipulator, which, okay, I'll say he's 1 for 3 on that because he's talking about the Adonis situation, but this isn't about Adonis. This is about the daughter who isn't even Adonis' sibling because the daughter doesn't exist, right? He's talking about Drake as being a snitch. Drake said, first of all, if I'm a snitch, where's the paperwork then? You know, where's the cabinet? Where's the trial? If I was a snitch, 1090 Jake would have knocked the walls down and the streets would have had me living in a small town. Let's talk about the daughter. We thought about how we would feed you the information. We gave you a name or destination. Ooh, let's see if he takes it. This is why you gotta do your thorough investigation. He's admitting to finessing Kendrick Lamar, and fans are not seeing this. This is my question to hip hop fans, right? Because I'm a fan of myself. I love the genre. If it's proven that Kendrick Lamar lied about Drake having a daughter and it's not true whatsoever, and you guys still believe Kendrick Lamar won the beef, you guys are biased. You guys are biased. Because take away Drake having a daughter. You're going to throw predator allegations of him and say that he snitched. One, Drake has never been to trial, so he didn't snitch. And then just leaves the predator allegations. And let's be real. Do you guys really think that Drake is a predator? And if you guys do, you guys do. Like obviously, I'm just looking at what I'm seeing. Yeah, he's embraced younger people, and it looks weird. Like that kiss on stage with that younger fan who was 17, even though she came out and addressed it, it looks weird. But what Drake brought up here was very smart. He said, Kendrick, why isn't Whitney denying any of our allegations? Everything that you said about me, I responded to. Why haven't you addressed about Whitney? What's the status of your guys' relationship? You proposed to her in 2015, it's 2024. Like, yo, when Drake said that verse, I literally had to look up and see, nah, he's lying. Kendrick Lamar married that girl for how long? That's his high school sweetheart. Bro, they're not even married. He's just leading her on. Like that was just crazy to me. And people feel like that was a very weak song because they felt like Drake was giving up. He was saying, man, man, you could put 10 more songs. I don't really care, man. Man, you guys are talking that other shit. Like, people feel like Drake was kind of acting defeated, right? But I felt like Drake is saying, I'm speaking my truth. You guys are feeding off lies. I fed you a lie. You bet the bait. You doubled down on the bait, which was an L. Then you released They Not Like Us to wash that song away. And people are believing you, and I'm talking the truth. And it's clear as day that Drake was just never favored to win. People didn't want him to win. Kendrick Lamar, it hurts me to say this because, like I said, from the city, he is the winner of the situation. And I'm not acting like Kendrick Lamar didn't out-rap Drake because I feel like I could say he didn't, I could say he didn't because they're both rapping really well. But the truth of the matter is Kendrick Lamar had the culture supporting him. The culture was not riding for Drake. The culture was tired of Drake. And it hurts me to say that the culture wanted to see Drake's demise and the parade downfall of Aubrey Graham. Thank you for watching this video. I have more videos coming. Subscribe. Jared the Star. I'm gone.